Denver Open Media wants to highlight something that's happening in America, in our communities today. So at Standing Rock, there has been a lot of, well, not protesting, but water protectors have gone to the scene in North Dakota, and they've been making a stand against the pipeline that might be going in there. So we want to let our community know how they can get involved in supporting that movement. And here with us tonight is Chris Ward to give us some insight on that. If we could have a round of applause to welcome Chris up to the stage. Chris, thank you so much for being with us. How are you doing this evening?
Outstanding. Thank you very much for inviting me in.
Of course, of course. So, Chris, you work for LegalShield, but I'm curious what this group is that you're a part of that wants to give support to the No DAPL movement.
Well, we're calling it Denver Stands for Standing Rock. It's not really a solid organization. It's not a 501c3. It's a bunch of individuals that felt passionate about what was going on up there. They saw what we believe are human rights violations, people that just don't have a voice. So we want to be able to lend our support, to bring supplies up there, showing them that Colorado is standing by our Dakota neighbors and making sure that they're taken care of in light of all the injustice against them.
Wonderful. And I know some of the representatives from your group actually just came back from dropping supplies off there. So what is it like on the ground there? Can you explain to our people here what's going on?
Well, without the mass media attention, I think the greatest challenge being is that we only get snippets of what's actually taking place. The reality is that there's we see a lot of the muscle on the front lines, but there's a lot of grandparents, there's young children there, so they're in desperate need of medical supplies, for food, even oxygen tanks for some of the senior citizens. So it's a lot more dire situation than we even know of. So we're going to do what we can to help them out.
Great. And how can our community get engaged and get involved with what you all are doing?
Well, we have to actually all become mouthpieces for, because the lack of mass media, a lot of it is a lot of people think that these are Native Americans that are just protesting an oil pipeline. But the reality is that this affects all citizens of the United States, because as this pipeline is only there are many others. And if we've seen in just in the last 12 months, there's been massive pipeline bursts that have polluted our drinking waters. The swamps in both Florida and Louisiana are being decimated. And so the money that's being used to suppress the information about what's going on with these pipeline bursts rivals what us on the ground are able to say. So each of us needs to use our social media, whether that be Facebook, what are all Snapchat, so on and so forth. Let's just continue to echo whatever we're hearing on the ground there to our friends and neighbors, and let them know that this is something that affects absolutely every single one of us. The pipeline is exactly a half a mile from the Missouri River right now. Missouri River flows all the way through the United States. For those of you that, like me, I grew up near the Missouri. I grew up a Missouri boy. And so I understand is that when that Missouri River gets polluted, and it's not if, it's when it'll affect the drinking water of well over 2 million of our families and friends.
So for these water protectors, what is the most important way that we can support them at this moment, other than showing up? Or is it showing up?
So the license, the biggest challenge is that the pipeline is absolutely legal. They're in their legal right to do exactly what they're doing, so we can't fight them on legal grounds. However, their license to build only runs until March. So we're trying to hinder construction at least until March. Now, that's the greatest challenge, because they're demanding use of firewood. Well, we all know firewood. I mean, we're going back to the Stone Age here. So we're having to find sustainable means by which to heat the tents and the encampments, because burning firewood, that's not going to last. And they've got to keep this out till March. Through temperatures in that region due to wind chill can drop down to negative 50 degrees. And so to keep them warm and keep their morale high enough to sustain a battle that's going to go all the way through March, we're going to have to get solar panels. We're going to have to get heaters in there, mobile heaters. We need to get mobile showers. A lot of them haven't showered in, I've heard, weeks or even months. So we got to do everything that we can do to help support them, to build morale that's going to keep that fight going all the way till March, so we can put a hold on that they'll never be able to recover from.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for coming out and bringing attention to this movement. I think it really is person-to-person conversation, of course, using social networking as well. And it's good. It's healthy to debate. It's healthy to talk about these things. We need to. So thank you so much for coming out. We're going to roll a video really fast that's going to give more context to the Standing Rock movement. If you are interested in getting involved and supporting, I would just go online. Google Standing Rock. I know I've read a couple things about if you are interested in going there as well, about really the kind of help they need. Videographers, photographers, building shelter for the winters. If you have an extra trailer you can donate. Those types of things are going to go a long, long way as these courageous people are out there. So let's roll that clip. Thank you.
So where you're seeing the police, whether it's state police, DAPL security, they're on top of a giant mountain that is where their ancestors are buried. The Native Americans.
The natives want to go and hold a peaceful prayer circle on the other bank. This is land that is theirs per the Laramie Treaty of 1851. This is a sacred burial site. But also, they're saying it's Army Corps of Engineer lands, which means on multiple levels what's happening here is illegal. This is a militarized police force up against an unarmed, peaceful prayer for people.
So I was out there, one of the first ones in the water. Maced us. It hurts. It hurts.
I feel like I'm watching the salt mine protest with Gandhi. I mean, these people are in the water, they're freezing to death. This water is not warm.
I couldn't feel my legs. I had to get out or I was about to pass out.
Save our water!
They're trying to disperse women and children because there's a fear that the cops that are coming in on those boats over there have actual bullets.
The police are committing genocide!
I see a sniper laying right there on the ridge. You can see his rifle sticking over the edge of the ridge right there. The sniper is not holding rubber bullets, I guarantee you.
These people from the North Dakota Police Force and the United States government has lost legitimacy in every respect today.
President Obama needs to step in and intervene before we have loss of life on either side.
You guys ever see anything like this?
This is absolutely insane, man. These people are just trying to protect their families, protect their water.
It's like a row of dominoes. You got one maced over here, one maced over here, one maced over here.
Whoa. All right, are you right?
Did they give you warning that they were going to mace?
Oh, not at all. Sitting there with my hands up, and I told him I love you, and the guy came and sprayed us. They sprayed me in the face for probably 6-7 seconds, and I just stood there until they were done.
Once you feel the power of these people, I mean, it brings tears to your eyes. People, they're fighting for a human right just to have clean water.